Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, and today I'm going to be giving you another Hausa sort of opening build that's recently hit the No Idle TC page, and that I believe is mostly managed by Kanoki. He sort of derives these build orders and they can be extremely useful, so I'm going to leave the link down below for you, and I'm going to be showing you my sort of gameplay here of a 1v1 ranked game against another Hausa player named Fangor. And we're going to roll through this, and I'm going to be just breaking it down for you, pausing every now and then, and letting you guys know what things I did wrong, because I'm still learning this build order, and you've got to bear in mind, my elo is around 1200, so slightly above average, but not a pro player by any means. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be obviously eating that 5th cattle there, and putting down the livestock market, and getting down our granary close to our hunts here. So very sort of standard opening for either Hausa or Ethiopia. I drop the GL and away we go. So you want to be using your explorer to gather food crates to age up quicker, also wood as well, so we can get our upgrade here as soon as possible. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is we are going to be getting a very early trade post, and we're going to be buying, or we're going to be selling a castle for wood to enable us to get a TP down, which we just did right there. So I just sold one, I've got 200 available, and I'm going ahead and putting the trading post down. Now sometimes some people will sell a second cattle to build a house and get the granary upgrade, but we are not going to be doing that. We are going to be aging up with 10 villagers, which means it's going to allow us to age up quicker, but we won't have the economy behind us. So this sort of build requires a lot of influence. This is the Too Much Influence build order by Kanoki on the No Idle TC page, and we're just showcasing it here. By no means, this is not my build order. I have not come up with this build order myself. This is just build order that I found, and I'm just showcasing it here for you guys to see how good it is. I'm enjoying this build order. There are other ones out there, and this is my favorite one. And what I did there is to age up quicker, what I suggest that you do is when you get to like the 8th villager and you're creating your 9th one, you can see I've got the 9th one there, and that's the 10th. That's the final one. When you're around this sort of stage, I suggest you take one of the cattle off the market, you kill the cattle, and have 3 or 4, maybe 5 villagers gathering from it to get that quicker age up. And that's what I'm doing. First card here is going to be the 4 semi-fattened cattle. This is the deck that we're using, so please feel free to pause it. I think you can still see the deck here, but as I say, feel free to use the link down below. It has the proper picture of the deck that you need to use. Okay, so you can see here that I'm still just gathering food. We're getting very close to the age up there for age 2. Got 4 cattle coming in, and that will actually produce a total of 5. Because you always get a cattle after each shipment, and you can go ahead and send that straight to the livestock market. You can see my explorer here just gathering more stuff. There's nice 35 XP that's going to be useful for us. And now we are aging up. So we're aging up around 2 minutes 40. You can probably do that a little bit quicker. And what you want to do here is you want to put 9 of your vills onto wood, and you want to have 1 vill just making sure to try and herd and bring some of the hunts in, because you have some giraffe here and you have some nice ostrich here. So that's what I suggest that you do. And what you're going to be doing here is you're going to be chopping wood to build 2 houses and get the dog upgrade. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the food upgrade. It's like the hunting dogs at the granary. That costs 50 food. 2 houses will cost you 200 wood in total. So you're sort of chopping for about 250 wood. And you also want to get the wood cutting upgrade from the livestock market as well, which will cost you 50 food. So you can see here I could maybe move 1 vill over to wood here. I don't have to have 2 on food, sorry. You can see here I've got village dogs. That's the one from the granary for 50 wood, sorry, coming in. And I still haven't got the wood upgrade here. I need to get that in. I haven't got it yet. And I'm aging up with the Hausa age up. And the Hausa age up is going to provide you with 300 wood, and it's going to give you a Hausa builder. And with that builder, you're going to be wanting to build a war camp. And what it also enables you to do is, with influence from your TC, you can generate two types of builders. So the first builder for 200 influence is the, I believe it's the livestock trader. And the final one is for 300 influence is the kingdom builder. And we're going to want to be using the kingdom builder. And I'll show you why. We're going to be spamming a lot of those builders out, and I'm going to show you why. This build order relies on influence. It's like the foundation of the build. You can see here that I'm building a hut, and I'm building a second one here as well. It really relies on that foundation. Now, the unfortunate thing here in this gameplay is when we do get into Age 2, we're going to be wanting to build a second TP. Now, what happened here, unfortunately for me, this map only has 3 TPs, and my opponent actually managed to grab 2 out of the 3, which was unfortunate for me. So I'm sort of kept in a really awkward spot here. My builder pops, and I've got nothing for my builder here at all. Now, what I could have done, which I completely forgot about, is I could have just gone for the native TP here. TP post here, this one here, can generate war elephants, which is kind of crazy. So I could have put it right on here, but I completely forgot about that. So if this does happen to you, native TP posts can also be very good for you. So here you go. Here's the Hausa builder. Can build trading post, livestock, pretty much anything. And we're going to use the war camp. And what happened here is that I got the next card, which was the Hausa Kingdom. So what you need to make sure that you do is when you're going up to Age 2, the earliest that you can click the Hausa Kingdom button is when 60% of the way. So when your bar at the top here is 60% along the way, that's ideally when you want to click it. If you click it earlier, what happens is that you'll only get 1 university builder. What you want to do is you want to make sure that this completes when you're in Age 2. Completes. So you don't want to click it when you're in Age 2. You want to click it before, as you're aging up. So when you get into Age 2 and it completes, and the shipment is sent, you will get both a university builder and a trade builder. So you can see here lots of builders coming out. A lot's going to be happening. And you want to collect that wood. And what you ideally want to do with that 300 wood is you want to build, I believe it's 2 houses. And you want to get the second granary upgrade as well. So here, moving over to here to build the war camp. And this is where I'm not too sure what to do with this trade builder here, because he should be going on to the trading post, but unfortunately it's not happening. So what I could just do is I could put him on this native TP here, but I'm completely blindsided. I don't even see that. So that's my error there. So here we go. So putting a university down with that university builder from the Hausa Empire card. And what we're going to do very shortly is something very crazy. You can see that I'm now getting the hardened iron axes. I got that way too late. You should get that the minute you start aging up. You should get it. So I got that quite late there. The snares is the secondary upgrade from the granary. So that's one we're going to be getting. And what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to sell some cattle. You're going to want to sell 1 cattle here for gold. And that is going to enable you to get the snares, because you've got the 300 wood shipment from Age 2. And you're going to want to sell 1 cattle for gold to get the snares here. And now what we have available is once we've sold that cattle for 1 gold, soon we're going to be using something from the university here called the banquet. Now, I think it's banquet. Now, the banquet is a nice pink button. I think it's either around here or here on the university. And what it allows you to do, you spend 250 gold and all of your existing cattle will be converted into influence. And it's a huge amount of influence. And you should be left with around 900 to 1,000 influence in your amount here. Okay, so next card is going to be 6 raiders. So what we're planning on doing now is we're going to want a total of 11 raiders. Now 11 raiders is 5 from the war camp and 6 from the actual home city shipment. And the best time, or the quickest time you ideally want 11 raiders by, is by 5 minutes 50. So by 5 minutes 50 you kind of want to be, let's say 6 minutes. You want to be really in your opponent's base and you want to be trying to raid and annoy them. Of course, sometimes this doesn't go to plan. Sometimes you're too late doing it. Sometimes the enemy does the same to you. Especially in this case, we're playing against Hausa. They're probably going to do the same as me. So this game is going to play out a little bit different to how it would normally play out, but it's still the same thing. So you can see I'm trying to get the last one there. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the 5th one. So that's just my bad macro, sorry, my bad macro. So we are going to have the Raiders. We are going to have 10 of them instead of 11, but it's fine. It's fine. And there you go. They popped at 5 minutes 40, so not too bad with timings there. And we're going to be sending them across, of course. And now, the minute I've done that, minute your Raiders pop and you've got 11 Raiders, that is the point when you want to do this influence switch. So you can see now I've got no cattle. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and sold a cattle for wood and sold a cattle for gold. And then I've gone ahead and done the banquet. I think it's banquet, not banquet. It's the banquet, I think, which switches them all out for influence. Okay. So it's there's a lot happening there. You know, this build does take some time to learn, and it's kind of difficult for me to try and describe everything that's going on here. So what I suggest is, you know, for even more detail, check out the link down below where the full build order is. And yeah, hopefully that will help you a little bit more. Here we go. So obviously my opponent has done the same. He's got the 6 Raider shipment. I've got 10 Raiders right now. And I don't really see here. And unfortunately I lose 1 Raider. And I lose 2 Raiders. And I lose 3. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing here. That was really bad. So that was just me being really bad. Losing those Raiders. I should have easily been able to attack him and take those Raiders down. And I just was a little bit silly there. And it looks like I'm gonna lose my Explorer as well. Which is a shame. So what you're going to do with that influence, I had 1100 influence. What you're going to do is you're going to be wanting to spam the Palace Builder button that's in the TC. That is 300 influence, and you want to do as many of those as you can. Ideally 2, ideally 3, sorry, minimum 2. And that is going to allow you to build palaces and universities. You can see here that I've already done one, a kingdom builder, that's what they're called. And they can build, basically, they can build a town centre, palace, university, or mountain monastery. Kind of crazy, and you can use them in Age 3 to build town centres. So they can also be used to really boom as well. It's just a really good thing to have. I think the Hausa age up is really powerful. You see here, I still got my trade builder here. He could just go right here. I don't know why I didn't do it. I just couldn't see it. So that's my mistake. So building a university here. And a palace. So ideally what you want to do with these builders, these kingdom builders that you get from the TC, is if I had the second TC here, you kind of want one university on each TP, sorry. So you want one university on one TP, one university on the other, and ideally you want a 3rd university at your main base, and also a palace at your main base as well. Or like this is the Hausa fort or palace. That's ideally what you want. That's the setup you want to start with. And that's going to enable you to gather a lot of influence. Okay. And what you kind of want to do, I believe, is you want to have your TP on experience. And then you want to have your universities on influence. So that you're getting that nice sort of mix of both XP and influence. That's going to be crucial. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to start going for the 700 coin shipment, and you can see the 700 coin has just dropped. And as you're getting that 700 coin shipment, you want to start creating Javelin Riders. That's the thing that you're going to sort of transition into. So originally we were getting the 6 Raiders from the home city, and we were getting 5 Raiders from the war camp. Now we're going to be transitioning over to Javelin Riders and Fulani Archers. Now Javelin Riders are food and gold, Fulani Archers are food and wood. So that's how we're going to be starting to transition. And you'll see that here, I've got my Fulani Archers starting to gather those, and also the Javelin Riders. The next card most likely will be the 7 Fulani Archers. It can either be the 7 Fulani Archers, or it can be the Sudanese allies. I've got enough influence for that. They're very, very good at infantry. So you can use those. And you can see my opponent here has gone the other way. My opponent has gone for the native embassy and the desert warriors. Desert warriors are a very, very strong unit. So he's got a slightly different composition to me, but you can see he's got Javelin Riders as well. There's going to be quite a force here from my opponent. And I'm going to have to back off here. He's got a little bit more than me here. You can see that I've currently got another 5 Javelin Riders coming in. So I am just going to back off here. This is going to be a bit of a poor engagement for me because I've been snared. Got another home city shipment point here ready for me. I've made some more Javelin Riders. And pretty much with this build, you kind of want pretty much all the time to have villagers on food. And then you want a few of them to be on gold. That's how you kind of want to play it. Because you want to be ideally food and gold. So you can keep making Javelin Riders, and the Fulani Archers, you can either sell cattle for wood for them, and you can also get the 700 wood shipment. So that's how you kind of want to play it. Your macro isn't too tricky here. See here, I'm trying to just get out the way. These Desert Warriors are heavy infantry. And they're going to try and take out my trade builder here, because I just couldn't. That was kind of a waste. He could have just gone right there. It was a complete waste. Very, very bad for me. So now he's trying to siege my university. He's in a bit of an awkward position here because he's kind of around my base here. So I'm just going to back off. I'm just going to wait to get some more troops. I've got 7 Fulani Archers on the way from the home city. I'm trading 5 Archers here as well. Now what I could have done instead is I could have just gone for the 12 Sudanese allies. I've got 800 influence available. Instead I went for the Fulani. What I could also do here is use my influence to generate some more kingdom builders. They could go ahead and build a university here. And you could also, for 200 influence, you could get a TP builder as well. And they could go right on there as well to help you with influence. So here we go. These Javelin Riders, I'm going to do relatively good exchanges here. Got 5 Fulani Archers, another 7 on the way. So that's a total of 13 Fulani Archers. And I'm going for these levied gunners. So this is kind of an interesting one for me. I probably didn't really need to do this. But sometimes when you are in a bit of a predicament, you can go for these levied gunmen. You can get them from your forts. And I believe they cost 90 influence. So they are quite expensive. But they're pretty good. 23 ranged. They're sort of heavy infantry. They're not bad. They're quite heavy musk unit. And they're going to do quite well here. And we're going to be able to clean up. And now the enemy's on the back foot. We managed to snare them. And we've got some good Fulani Archers, Levy Gunners, Javelin Riders, and Raiders. So a great composition here. There's not much. I mean, look at the score difference now. I think he was focusing a little bit too much on the units. And now it's really starting to come in my favor. He has got some Sudanese. These are the Sudanese allies coming in. What we want to do is get some cav on these guys. Yeah, but the Sudanese guys are actually going to do better because they've got a higher range resist. They've got 30 range resist compared to my 20 on my Fulani Archers, so I need to be careful here. Probably should have just backed off a little bit and waited for some cav. Now with the 500 influence, I'm going for the Ramfords Riders, which is the 5 Lafidi Knights. Now, I've got to say, the Lafidi Knights are absolutely insane. They've got dual resistance, so they've got resistance to both melee and ranged. And they've got about over 400 HP. Extremely powerful, heavy cavalry. Very, very good. So I would definitely recommend either going for the Ramfords Riders next or going for the Sudanese allies. That's what I would suggest. And then maybe if you do need to get into age 3, then just waiting off. Maybe going for 700 wood can help you. But you can see here I'm going food and wood. I should probably start to transition some units over to gold. Because if you want to play further into age 2, this Ramfords Riders will enable you to actually train Lafidi Knights in the Commerce Age, which is the second age that we're in right now. So, when you want to start getting this, I would suggest moving some over to gold if you want to start training more of them, or if you want to start training maybe Javelin Knights, more Javelin Knights. That's what I would suggest. Okay, so we backed off a little bit there. We're still looking pretty good score-wise. We did lose a little bit with that engagement. Probably a poor engagement for me. We can see the opponent has backed off. He's just got some Sudanese here. Let's have a look at his... So he's only got 17 vils. I've got 18 vils. But look at the influence difference. I'm getting 198 influence. 200 a minute. And he's only getting 40. So, yeah, he's really lacking. He's got 2 TP. He's actually got tons of TPs. Trading post. Yeah, he's got a lot, but he hasn't got the universities to boost that income. And that's exactly what I've got. So let's go back to me. You can see I'm making some raiders to help. So it's up to you really. Like, I mean, to be honest, like you can either start training Lafidi Knights or start training raiders. Raiders are a lot cheaper than Lafidi Knights. So depending on your macro and how you're looking, it's entirely up to you. But I would suggest having a good sort of heavy cav composition with either Fulani Archers or also the Javelin Riders as well. Can be very good. You can see here, I've got my Javelin Riders. I'm moving them into base. I'm just trying to annoy the enemy, trying to distract him. He's got these Sudanese, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to be pushing the main base here, taking down his war camp. So I'm doing that. Making sure to keep constantly creating villagers. I've got some more Fulani Archers coming through as well. I've got quite a lot here value-wise for my cattle. 260 here, so I could definitely use those. I've got another TC shipment coming in. I've got 500 influence again. I could have gone for the Sudanese allies here. I don't know why I didn't. I went for the 700 wood instead. Kind of a strange pick there for me. Be careful here, or they're going to get that's kind of a poor engagement from me. I'm just going to be sieging down the native embassy here and the war camp. Quite 31 troops here. Quite something here to try and take on. You can see here I'm just sort of macroing for food and gold at the moment. No more wood. I could sell some wood here for 300 and then build a couple more houses, potentially make some more Fulani Archers. Quite a few things I could do. I'm just going to deny him of this war camp. So I can see that he's starting to build another war camp for some reason. Take out a couple of vills. He managed to build it though. This is where I struggle a little bit. I've got to be careful. I kind of need to use my cav here, and I do. I quickly switch onto them. And this is really bad for him here because he's going to get these guys snared, and I can then move in with my infantry. And yeah, he's gonna lose all of that. You can see here he's got 500 influence available to him, but he's got no cards yet, no shipments. And he's trying to make raiders, but it's not looking the best for him here. I'm up about 3k score. Got some more raiders coming out, building a couple more houses. So yeah, it looks like I don't know what I did here. Maybe I bought some wood. Kind of confused. Oh no, I got the 700 wood, didn't I? Maybe the 700 wood was a good shout. I don't know why I'm getting levy gunners here. I think that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that because I was using a lot of influence there. I should have just gone for the Sudanese allies. Now I do struggle a little bit here. I'm not the best at rushing because I don't really know what to focus on. You know, I know you just want to kind of idle your opponent. Maybe I should have just taken out this war camp here. And taking out the couple of houses over here, and he's got some vills over here as well, rather than trying to deal with the TC. I mean, I think I have the siege for it, but I don't know. Their siege damage is terrible. 4 siege from the levied gunner. We're getting plenty of food in here. A little bit too much food, so probably need to re-macro there. Not the best, but you know, I'm still learning the build order. But you can see here just the sheer amount of influence that you get, and XP as well. It is kind of insane. We are just going to speed this up just a little bit here. Just a little bit. You see I've got more Javelin Riders. I've got my Sudanese coming in as well. The old Javelin Riders dealing with the raiders there. And there's nothing much he can really do now. His villagers are all still in here. There's a couple out here gathering, but there's no eco now from him. Like, he can't... He's kind of stuck in his base. There's nothing much he can do. I'm going to try and get my Sudanese to come over here, see if there's any more villagers, because I didn't know if there was. I've got, look, 500 here. 500 for 500. So what I could have done is... yeah, there's lots of things I could have done here. I could have just bought 500 gold and then I could have just tried to get into age 3. So I was feeling quite good at this point. But I pretty much knew that it was over, so I just needed to make sure to secure the win. I've got some more raiders coming in to help deal with the TC. And there it is, guys. The game is over. So, I hope you really enjoyed this. Of course, let me know down in the comments below what you think of this build order. Whether you think Hausa still need to be nerfed, as well as Ethiopia. Let me know what you think of the African civs. And let me know what I could have done different in this game. You know, I was still learning the build, so still very rusty. But the premise of it is simply to just expand and conquer. You know, you kind of want to act like the Zerg from StarCraft 2 if you haven't played that, but you essentially just want to spread. You want to use your kingdom builders, like in age 2. The minute you age up, you want to start using them to spread across the map, get 2 TPs, get universities on both of them, get a palace in your main base with a 3rd university. Once you've got 3 universities, you know, generating you maybe 4 or 5 influence a second, you're going to rack up influence so quickly, trust me. And you're going to be able to use that to get even more units, like the Sudanese allies, for example, the Levidi Knights. And also you're going to be able to use that influence to get even more builders as well. And if you're in a tight spot and you need the levied gunners to help you, you can get that from the palace as well. So, hope you guys really enjoyed this build order. Let me know what build orders you like from the Hausa. If you found this video entertaining and useful, of course, please leave a like. And you can catch me streaming on Twitch at Widgie1. Take care, guys.